Alright, how y'all doing? You ever had one of those days where you know it's going to go, it's just going to go, it's going to fail, it's going to be catastrophic from the moment you open your eyes? That's today, for me. Shell. But the moral of the story I'm about to tell you, there's a few parts to it, really. Right? Safety first. Check it. Double check it. Check it again. Just because something was alright once doesn't mean it's going to be alright the next time. Or the time after that. Or just keep checking. Keep on top of things. Don't get cocky. Don't get comfy. Because that's when things go completely the wrong. My day starts with people wasting my time. I've made many a video about how I hate people wasting time and how I am also at times guilty of doing it quite badly, right? But it started off wasting my damn time. I was in a pretty rotten mood from the start. I'd barely gotten any sleep, so I've been kept up all night. And I'm like, ugh. But I start getting into this groove. I've got this nice setup going. Things were working. Rad. I'd kind of I'd cobbled together this setup for a couple of days. I was working nice. It was working really nice. Physics, though, decided to slap me because I'd built this kind of a rig that I would normally have take up quite a bit of space to make it stable, secure, all that kind of stuff. I was like, well, I wonder if I use this. And if I use this and I bracket that, and then put this on top of that and put this here, well, that seems like that's balancing all right. That saves a lot of space. That gives me more room to work. Excellent. Let's do that. Been working for a few days. As I say, physics decided, whack. They say things happen in threes. This would be number 2 all the way through to like 100. Not great. I'm sitting down and in slow motion, from the corner of my eye, the whole rig just goes, no, not right the now. And it comes over, doof, hits the floor. Part of that rig is what I'm using right the now because I'm desperately trying. I'm testing it, praying that it's going to be okay. I wouldn't now realistically use this camera for anything hardcore now because my Christ, it hit the floor. It really hit the floor. If it hit me, or like, let's put it this way, if it was a human being, it wouldn't have mattered. If it had hit me, or even a child, right? Whoa, really? Like, how is it that big of a deal if it would have hit a human or a child or an adult and it wouldn't have mattered? Because when an adult gets hit, or even a child, we kind of roll. It's like a glance and blow. We kind of take it and roll with it, and it would have just kind of. It wasn't particularly heavy, but it was the way that it fell that did the groove. I have a camera here with a micro HDMI port on the side of it. A terrible, terrible connection, and I've been nervous to use it for 2 years. Because the moment something breaks, that's it, you're done. This wouldn't even qualify as B anymore, because if that connection's dodge, it hit the floor with such force that the cable decided right angle was the way to go, and whilst the connection seems to be functional, it's wobbly. The trouble is though, it's because I was saving space. I had some other stuff set up. If it had fallen, say 3 to 6 inches to the left, if I looked at it left from where I'm looking, yeah, so that way towards you guys, if it had fallen 3 to 6 inches that way, could have been upwards of £2,000 worth of damage. The reason it would have done more damage is because, like I say, if it hit me, I kind of roll with it. I like take it and it glances off and it kind of just hits and breaks whatever. The stuff that it was likely to hit had nowhere to go. It would have just taken the full impact and just been done with it, kind of thing. And let's just say the area was pretty crowded. I'm learning lessons here. Clean workspace, okay? I've been taking a lot of silly, not risks. I mean, Christ, I was working on some stuff the other day, and it's like, did you just work on that live? And I was like, yeah. Just don't do that, and don't do this. It's like, yeah, but that was fine this time, but what if it weren't? It's like, well, it weren't high voltage, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm now proving to you that I'm an absolute idiot. Do as I say, not as I do. Right? So, like, I did that, and then with this rig here, it could have taken out a £2,000 computer, like a £2,000 laptop. It took like a £200 pair of headphones clean off of my face, and it caved into like a couple £100 microphone. There was another £300 pair of headphones on the floor, like near me. If my phone was near it, it kind of rolled the way it hit, kind of missed my phone. So that could have been another few £100. Let's put it this way. If the damage is just the camera and I want a fully functioning version of the camera that's just taken a beating, £500-ish. Well, it's a little bit more than 500, but we'll round it down. If the worst had happened, you're talking, like, if I'd have put my proper camera on top of the rig before it fell, and like a couple £100 lighting panel, like £200-300 lighting panel, a couple £100 microphone, couple £100 pair of headphones, say the phone, the computer, we're talking in the regions of like upwards of £5,000. I could have just lost £5,000 because I let I thought I was smarter than physics. I thought I had managed to trick physics, and just no, right? Check it. Don't cut corners. Don't get comfortable. Run down that checklist like you're an airline pilot. The airline pilots have like big books with checklists in them for if stuff goes wrong. Because like there's only so many things you can do to fix the problem. So here's the things. If you do this, then likely you're going to fix the problem if you've got the time. Right? If you're doing things right, you'll have the time. If not, whoops. Be an airline pilot that doesn't crash. Go down the list. Make things safe. I was absolutely the devastator. It seems fine. I mean, I could probably put it in a cage and lock down the HDMI connection, and it'll probably be okay. If not, then I can just remote it somewhere and just have it record to the card and have that as like a not quite a B-roll camera, but a maybe shot kind of thing, like an ultra wide shot, like all the way over there, back in the bleachers, whatever, up that way where no one wants to be, the cheap seats, I could not believe it. And then I got some not particularly great news, which I was a bit about, but whilst I would have probably felt better to have gone and raged a bit to fix it, I wouldn't have been the one that lost out if I had have lost my temper. And then, to try and chill out, I decided for the lulz, I was going to play some J-pop on bass guitar. Don't ask. Alright, go on, ask. Why? Because to chill out, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna guilty pleasure slice of life anime. I'm gonna put on some K-On! and watch a Japanese high school music club perform. And I was like, that's a pretty rad song. I'm gonna play that on my bass. And so I bust out the bass, and like a nuggie, I didn't check some settings, and I went to tune up. Wrong, and I ended up snapping the E string on my bass. So, that really ragged me off. So I ended up playing rhythm instead. Went and grabbed a 6-string, but like, check it again. Just keep checking, just over and over and over again. Things could have gone really, really bad. In fact, actually, I think there might be a bit of added latency here. I don't know if it's just because I haven't checked some settings or because I boshed the camera. I just could not believe it. The range of between £500 and there's around £4,500 to £5,000, and the fact that some folks said, "Well, it happens in threes, doesn't it?" Well, it was four minimum, upwards of six things. Oh, just what a nug! All because I wanted to save a bit of space because my time had been cut short in the morning because I'd been rushed about, and then just plan for it. Plan for people to stuff you about. I think I had like 10 minutes. By the time I'd got everything else done, I had 10 minutes. And I was like, yeah, that's not enough time. It's not enough time. I know people that take like 45 minutes to make sure they've got everything kitted up and ready to go. And yeah, 10 minutes. No. 10 minutes to trick physics. If, like maybe some sandbags or something. Some weights would have solved the problem. I'm so glad it wasn't my big boy camera though. My God, if it was my big boy camera, I would have cried. I'm so glad it didn't hit the laptop. I'm so glad it didn't hit anyone else. I'm so glad that I think some of the other kit is fine because I basically as it came down it like hit a microphone stand that I had some other bits connected to, and a set like I said, the headphones just got ripped clean off my head. That was a pair of I don't actually think they're worth £200 anymore, but the QC35-2s just got ripped clean off my head. And it like completely boshed right into, because it was like a big like a bar, like that kind of shape. You know, just went mashed into me HD 600s, took out a microphone. Like I had other bits here, and I was like, no! Like if it was this bit like here, like around me, because it was only like I don't know, how much floor space would that have been? Like 5 feet or something like that. Like it weren't particularly. Oh my God, though, I just don't just don't miss. Like accidents happen. You know, happen to the best of us. Just plan for it. You know, thankfully I had all backup bits anyway, so I didn't have to worry too much. But it's just not something that wasn't something that should have happened. It's not a mistake I would have normally made, and this year it just seems like I'm really kind of like. Ugh. If you're playing with electricity, check it again. Make sure things are unplugged. Just check it. Don't assume it's still that way. Just check it if you're doing any work. Like what is it like? Check twice, cut once, something like that for woodwork. You know, check it again, and then go. Don't just go. Perfect. So I'm just now going through like checking fittings and fixtures and making sure that nothing got cracked or boshed. I know the camera itself that was on the mount took the brunt of it. Sad times. No, C-stand would have done it. C-stand with some bags on it. But no. Just use the 6 foot stand with the plate on the bottom. That's fine. No, that's fine if you're just going up, not up and sideways. That's dumb. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't take for granted things are going to work when you need them. That's why they say, like, you know, do brake checks when you go through puddles and stuff. I think that's why they tell you to do brake checks. Don't assume your brakes are going to work. Just, you know, give them a little test. Brake check the bastard behind you. Right, I'm off. This has become a very long-winded. Be safe. Be careful. Do the thing. And please don't piss me off, because my temper's thin. If I still had hair, I'd have pulled more of it out. So, oh God, what to tits. Hope you're well. I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. You guys ever done anything particularly stupid that you shouldn't have done? I was fine before. And then, I don't know, I bridged that connection and took my arm off. Oh, did it? Yeah. That minefield was safe last week. Man, took straight across me. Not today. Stuck my head over this fucking circular saw hundreds of times. Always do stuff with my hands. Now I've got no fingers. How you lying? I thought the oven was electric, so it'd be safe for me to stick my head in. It was gas this time, wasn't it?